Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's game between your Loyola Cubs and the St. Francis Golden Knights. In net tonight for your Loyola Cubs, number 9, Garrett Flynn.
Mission League Championships, right?
It is right now the Mission League Championship. I think Loyola has a record of like 20 in a row, some of Lacrosse player told me.
I don't think we've played that long.
I don't know, but that's what one of them told me.
We already have 14 watching. So you say the Boston people.
I want to give a quick shout out to Mike and Tim from Boston. Thank you for tuning in into our broadcast today. And at the face-off dot for your Loyola Cubs, number 7, Andrew Goldman. Let's get this party started. Andrew Goldman battles off the ball, and he gets it. Ooh, early hit by St. Francis. Andrew Goldman with a little toss pass, incomplete, but Matt Fine picks it up, and the Cubs will get the first possession. Cash Ginsburg with the ball on the right side, trying to cut into the middle. Just passes it up top to Jack McNamara. McNamara over to Finn Hazelton. Finn Hazelton over to Codaway. Codaway back over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg down to Trip King, their star sophomore, number 11. Over to Joey. Joey over to Finn. Finn over to Codaway. Codaway over to Cash. Cash now with the ball. Oh, it's a good deflected pass by St. Francis, but Finn will pick it back up. And St. Francis will snatch it away from them as they're getting a little bit of speed in the offensive zone. St. Francis now controlling the ball. Gus Singh all over him. St. Francis shoot, and a good save by Garrett Flynn. Rebound in front. St. Francis can't put it away, and Gus picks up the loose change. Finn Hazelton now bringing up the ball with speed. He's flying as he crosses midline. Nice move over to the right, gives it over to Cash. Cash back to Finn. Finn now has the ball at around the 35-yard line. Back down to Cash. Cash down to Matthew. Matthew over to King. King over to Cash. Cash over to Milo Watts, who checks into the game. Cash fakes the shot. Back over to Milo. Milo now over to Carmine. Carmine, another sophomore on the team. Over to Joey. Joey over to King. King behind the net. Looking for options in front. Back over to Joey. Joey trying to move it to the middle. Can't. Passes it back up to Carmine. Carmine to Milo. Milo over to Cash. Cash now with the ball. Cash looking for something. Gives it over to Carmine. Carmine over to Joey. Joey over to King. King shot gets blocked. Rebound picked up by St. Francis. The Golden Knights coming up with speed as they're going to try to cross halfway. And they do. Golden Knights with speed. Almost gets out of bounds. And it is out of bounds. And your Cubs will pick up the ball off of Milo's hard work to battle him off the line. And now with the ball, Trip King with an odd man rush, and he'll just settle it down. Over to Joey, over to Carmine. Carmine now with the ball. Carmine down low to Cash Ginsburg. Ginsburg now looking for an option, finds Matt Fine. Matt Fine over to King. King over to Joey. Joey making moves, trying to cut to the middle. Loyola still looking for the first shot. Oh, Cash shoots and in off the post. Joey picks up the rebound. Cash back down to Matt Fine. Ball goes out of bounds, and St. Francis will pick it up off a bad pass as the ball rolls out of bounds. The Golden Knights goalie will pick it up, number 19, as he's looking for a nice little throw-in play. The Golden Knights goalie comes out a little bit and delivers a pass that doesn't go straight in the stick. Golden Knights have the ball back. Goalie gives it. Oh, Golden Knights shoot it downfield. Bad pass. Will the ball roll out? It goes off the Golden Knights. It goes off St. Francis, and now Loyola will have the ball. Carmine down to number 23, Codaway. Codaway over to King. King making some momentum inside. King with a spin move. King over to Carmine. Carmine doesn't shoot. Gives over to Hazelton. Hazelton now with the ball down low. Down low to Cash Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to King. King over to Carmine. Carmine over to Codaway. Back over to Carmine. Carmine now controlling the ball with a nice little jog. Carmine looking for shot. pulls back, gives it to King. King over to Kodaway. Kodaway making moves. Kodaway doesn't shoot. Over to Cash. Cash back over to King. King over to Carmine. Carmine drops it. Re-picks it up. Carmine over to Kodaway. Kodaway now drifting to the left. Gives it over to Carmine again. Carmine over to Hazelton. Hazelton now spinning and twirling. Gives it over to Carmine. Carmine now trying to find some momentum and get Loyola their first goal on the board. Matt Fine now with the ball behind the net. To Kodaway. Kodaway over to Carmine. Carmine over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg now with the ball over to Carmine. Back over to Kodaway. Over to Hazelton. Hazelton over to Matt Fine. Matt Fine getting pressure behind the net. Matt Fine over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg across to Hazelton. Hazelton shoots. Oh, it goes off the crossbar. And out of bounds. The Cubs will pick up the ball off a nice little momentum play they had there. Cubs on 2 shots coming closer and closer to their first goal as it goes off the post and off the crossbar. 1 shot by Cash, the other one by Finn Hazelton. Now with the ball, Kodaway as the ball gets checked back in. Kodaway over to Carmine. Carmine tries to shoot. He gets denied. Carmine going into 4 Carmelites. Can't figure it out. Carmine having battle as he's getting slashed and he's getting hacked. Ball to Loyola. Kodaway shoots. Oh, trip with a little rebound shot goes out of bounds and Finn. Matt Fine will pick it up in out of bounds territory as the ball rolls out. We have some very passionate defensive Knights moms cheering for St. Francis right on my left. But we have an even better mothers group for the Cubs. Yeah. Let's go. Loyola's still looking for their first. McNamara trying to cut in. Can't. Gives it over to King. King down low to Fine. Fine getting pressured. Fine falls. And St. Francis picks up the ball. St. Francis bringing it up with speed. They hail it downfield. Oh, St. Francis lost it in the transfer. Joey McNamara over to Fine. Fine over to King. King with a spin move. King shoots. Behind the back, almost scores. And almost highlight reel play by the sophomore. And the ball goes out of bounds. And the Golden Knights will have it. That was spectacular. What a pass by Matt Fine. Fake by Tripp. Behind the back, falling dive shot. Just goes a little wide as St. Francis will bring up the ball. Oh, big hit by McNamara. Mouth guard down. So is the ball. Too many hacks and whacks, and it's going to be Golden Knights ball after a timeout by the Carmelites. We'll be back after the timeout. St. Francis gets the ball after the timeout. Number 99 wearing Wayne Gretzky's number brings it up. I would find that a little disgraceful in the hockey world, but we're in lacrosse. St. Francis bringing it up. The Golden Knights making their way down on the right side. On him is number 25 for your Loyola Cubs, Jack Gilhooly. Shot, score! St. Francis up 1-0. What a nice little play there by the Golden Knights as they cycle it off the top. And nice little dump shot over Garrett Flynn's left shoulder. And the Golden Knights are up 1-0 in the Mission League Finals. The Cubs better start putting it in the back of the net before St. Francis gets too ahead of themselves. Andrew Goldman back on the draw. 1 for 1 so far. The Cubs need to get back in and they're down 1. Andrew wins the draw. Andrew getting pressured off the ball, getting some back pressure across his midline, and he's moving his feet. He's gassing into the middle. He takes it behind the net. He's running out of room. He's getting pressure. He needs to pass it. Gives it over to King, and the Cubs will set it up. King now with the ball over to Hazelton. Hazelton looking to put one on the board as the Cubs are now down 1 with 5 minutes left to go in the quarter. Offense. 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 Cash Ginsburg with the ball over to Joey McNamara. McNamara over to Hazelton. Hazelton over to King. King over to Fine. Fine back over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg back over to McNamara. Oh, they're just going in a pentagon. They're just making me say their names a couple times. Finn Hazelton. Over to McNamara. McNamara making moves. Trying to find something as the Cubs aren't doing anything right now. Joey with the far pass to Ginsburg, scores! Cash Ginsburg with the top right bullet, and your Cubs are back in it, 1-1 with 4 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Ginsburg ties the game. We'll be back at the face-off. Enzo Choi now at the dot. Enzo wins the faceoff as well as he just can't pick it up, and he does. Choi now cutting over the midline, gets it. Oh, he's coming with speed. Hacks. Timeout. Cubs will be back after the timeout. Your Cubs are tied 1-1 with the Golden Knights with 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Loyola out of the timeout, and now with the ball, Milo Watts. Watts over to, Milo shoots it out of bounds. The pass was intended to Alex Michaels. And now with the ball, the Carmelites. Wait. Sorry, little mistake. I was wrongly advised by a certain mentor I have that they're the Crispies, the Carmelites. That was the last game I broadcasted. These guys are the Golden Knights, and the Golden Knights goalie stops it. The Carmelites goalie is sitting watching this game right now. Cash Ginsburg has the ball.
Golden Knights, Golden Knights, Golden Knights. Dude, but honestly, I thought we'd be beating the shit out of them by now.
Me too, me too.
They brought their A game. Yeah.
I mean, the record is 14-2, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
The 2 losses were to us, but still. Thank you, though. McNamara bringing up the ball on the left side. Over to King. King in front, pass goes wide.
Oh my God. What's going on? What's going on?
St. Francis now with the ball. Sprinting in. Big hit by Finn Hazelton. Oh.
Oh, is that legal?
Gus Singh bringing up the ball with Hazelton as he is jogging around midline. Gives it over to King. King setting it up.
They're being cautious.
Is that the play here, to be cautious?
Kind of, but look, they're just stopping and setting.
Fine with the ball behind the net.
Right.
To Ginsburg. Ginsburg to Carmine. Carmine to Milo. Milo. Over to Fine. Fine over to Milo. Milo shoots. Scores! Cubs up 2-1 with a minute 17 left to go in the corner. Milo Watts with a shot right through the wickets of the Golden Knights goalie. We'll be back at faceoff. I didn't get to finish my fish.
Yeah, gefilte fish.
Wow. Gefilte fish, seriously?
It's good. I like gefilte fish.
No, it's not bad. My grandma makes a great one.
Yeah, you gotta cook it right.
Yeah, I'm having I think in a couple nights Passover dinner with her, so I think she'll make it. Now with the ball, Finn Hazelton as times run down, and he gets tripped up, no call. Fine. In front, pass goes wide. Chase Helly battling at the line. The Golden Knights pick it up. And it's offside, and it's Cubs ball with 20 seconds left. Joey McNamara has the ball. Time winding down. Over to King. King over to Fine. Backdoor play. And Cash Ginsburg cashes it in with 12 seconds left to go. Cubs up 3-1. Bang, bang, bang. Tic-tac-toe. And your Cubs are up 2 with 12 seconds left. We'll be back at face-off again. Andrew Goldman back on the dot, substituting for Enzo Choi. Goldman was a draw. Only 12 seconds left to go in the quarter. Loyola has to go fast if they want to get something done. Malone tripped up. Time winding down. 2 seconds left. Flag. Shh. Henry Cassani in front, and that's time winding down, but it's going to be a penalty on St. Francis, and we'll be back with the Loyola power play to start the second quarter. Cubs up 3-1. Cubs with the ball after the St. Francis penalty. Hazelton now over to King. King back over to Hazelton. Hazelton over to McNamara. McNamara shot wide. It's going to be a rundown. It's going to be close, and it's going to be Golden Knights' ball. Can you believe it? Wow. Wowzer. St. Francis now bringing up the ball.
Whoa.
Couple spin moves, and he breaks free. St. Francis now on offense, only down 2 goals here in the second quarter.
That was a good spin move.
It was a nice little spin move. St. Francis cruising on the outside. Shot by St. Francis goes wide, and they'll get the ball back on the rundown. Well, they call it a shot, and they don't, and it's going to be Cub ball.
What happened?
They thought it was a shot. We got banana peels on the field, Illegal hit on Finn Hazelton, and Cubs will go back on the power play. Cubs now with the ball. Fine beneath the net. Spinning. Shot wide. And it's going to be a penalty on the Golden Knights. We'll be back after the call's made. And now the Cubs back on offense. Codaway. Over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg. Down low to Tripp. Tripp over to McNamara. McNamara over to Fine. Fine over to Ginsburg. To Tripp. Tripp coming out. Shot by Hazelton. Yes, sir! 4-1 Cubs. And the chants have gone silent as your Cubs are up 3 in the second quarter. Henry Casani picks up the easy little change off the faceoff and gives it over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg has the ball. Gives it over to Carmine. Carmine over to Milo. Milo back over to Carmine. Carmine over to Codaway. Codaway over to Cash Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to Codaway. Codaway over to Milo. Milo over to King. King over to Codaway. Codaway over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg making moves. Defenseman all over him. Codaway over to Milo. Milo over to Carmine. Carmine over to Codaway. Codaway with a nice little move. Codaway over to Carmine. Carmine to Milo. Doesn't pull up. Milo over to Carmine. Carmine over to Codaway. Codaway over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to Fine. Fine over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg with a fake shot. Ginsburg. Ooh, that nice little pass. Milo shoots. And a good save by St. Francis. St. Francis bringing up the ball. Trying to get across. Tripp all over him. Tripp creates a turnover. Ball's loose. The Golden Knights hail it downfield to their Tendy. Tendy rips it over. It's a loose ball. St. Francis picks it up. They're coming in on the net for against Loyola. St. Francis now going to set it up. Henry Casani on him. St. Francis now. Shot. Save made by Garrett Flynn. A ground ball save as he steers it out of bounds. And it's going to be Golden Knight ball. St. Francis gives it over. Golden Knights trying to fight in. Passes it down low. 12. Golden Knights trying to find something. They scored the first goal, haven't been able to score since. Golden Knights with a shot attempt. Shot goes wide, and it's going to be Golden Knight ball again. Nice stop. And Jack Gilhooly bringing it up for the Cubs. His dad organized the golf event where I got to do a couple of interviews with. And I want to say that I'm very thankful to Jack Gilhooly's dad, Mr. Gilhooly, and greatly appreciate him. Timeout, we'll be right back.
Fans are looking for you.
Hazelton down to the right. Over to King. King. Over to Kodaway. Kodaway, don't pass. In front to Ginsburg. Oh, Ginsburg's pass gets picked off. And now St. Francis with a bad pass but gets picked up. St. Francis now making some room. St. Francis passes it down low. St. Francis looking for their second one on the board. Number 99 for the Golden Knights now carrying the ball at around the 35-yard line. Trying to cut into the middle, can't. On him is number 2, Henry Kasani, the committed UNC Tar Heel. Henry with a nice little hook as he picks off the ball. And now with speed, number 5, Malone. Malone over to Matt Fine. Matt Fine shot off the post, bounces, and the goalie picks it up. Now with the ball, the Golden Knights sprinting it back up the field. They got an odd man rush. Shot. Save made by Garrett Flynn, and it'll be Golden Knight ball on the rundown. We love those rundowns. The Golden Knights now on the right side, shoot, bounce shot. That's gonna go out of bounds. And that will be GoldenEye ball again.
Yeah. Oh, Colorado sucks, bro. I mean, come on.
I know, but we have bases loaded. Bases loaded. Golden Knights trying to get a shot off. Blocked. Blocked by Chase Helly, and it's going to stay Golden Knight ball.
What's up? Why keep playing the whistle?
No, no penalty. It's just Golden Knight ball. Kasani gets beat. Bud gets him on the back. Now bringing up the ball. It's Everett Ralph. Look at him go. Everett with a nice pass. Trip King breaking it on goal. He shoots and a save. Ball's loose. Not picked up. Trip battling. Loses the battle as the long pole for St. Francis picks it up.
Something. What's up?
And it's cup ball.
I know. Relax.
Relax.
Mr. Ruiz says relax.
Relax. That was Everett Ralph. Let's go, offense!
We don't say that. Did we? Like, we say defense, but we don't say
Yeah,
offense,
that's
right?
true. Ginsburg with the ball. Shot scores! Bar and down. Ginsburg with his second of the night, and your Cubs are up 4. 5-1 Cubs. Back at faceoff dot. Andrew at the
Bouchy?
Finn Hazelton picks up the ball. Over to Cash. Cash over to Codaway. Codaway trying to battle to the middle. Lost ball. Oh, shot off his knees. Another penalty. St. Francis with their 4th. Trip King now with the ball. Whistles blown. Penalty on St. Francis. Cubs power play. We'll be back after the refs make the decision. Hazelton now with the ball over to Jack McNamara. McNamara over to Codaway. Codaway over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg now over to King. King in front. Shot. Save made by the Golden Knights Tendy. Pass out in front of Codaway. Codaway gets locked up with many sticks. Ball loose. King with the ball. In front. Joey can't pick it up. Ball crossing half. Doesn't get there in time. Finn now with a nice little turn as he keeps it in. Over to Cash. Cash now making speed into the zone. Over to Hazelton. Hazelton now setting up slowly.
Whack. Yeah, not bad.
For half? That's amazing.
Amazing.
Oh, Tripp with a nice little shot and gets denied by the Golden Knights' Tendy. As now the Golden Knights are bringing it up. Back pressure by the Cubs, not enough. And now St. Francis bringing it up. St. Francis shoot off the crossbar. Everett Ralph battling. Look at him go. He's in my Latin class. Codaway now with the ball. Codaway now breaking away with speed.
That was a good pass.
Over to Ginsburg.
Amazing.
Ginsburg over to Michaels, who checks into the game. Over to Carmine. Ball dropped again by the Cubs, and Milo Watts will pick it up this time. Milo now with the ball up top, over to Cash Ginsburg. Ginsburg. Fake shots, looking for the pass. Gives it over to Milo. Milo over to Michaels. Michaels over to Carmine. Carmine.
Ooh. That went to hit the post.
Ooh, shot saved. And out of bounds with 36 seconds left to go. The Cubs will pick it up and are looking to get a quick goal here at the end of the half. Michaels now over to Watts. Watts over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg looking to get it on goal. Only 22 seconds left to go. Now 20. Shot score! Matthew Fine with an Air Jordan jump as he dunks it into the net. Cubs up 5 with 20 seconds left to go in the first half. Andrew thought he had the ball. Didn't know. And now Gus Singh picks it up as he gets hit hard in the back. And now Everett getting pressured, gives it over to Garrett. Another flag on the play. Now we really do have banana peels all over the place. Shot downfield. Oh, it was actually kind of close. And that's the end of the half. And Loyola will come back from the half with a power play. Cubs up 5, 6-1. We'll see what they can do, if they can add more, or if St. Francis can come back and tie. We'll be back after the halftime break. Loyola checks into the game with a power play. A little recap of the last half. Your Cubs had a slow start, and St. Francis actually scored first, and it was a very underdog-like goal. The Cubs definitely weren't expecting it. And then Cubs put up 6 unconsecutive unanswered goals. And now we're winning 6-1 and have a power play here in the third quarter. If I was Coach Burrell, I would enforce them to put more on the board this half compared to what they did last half. King now with the ball over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg scores! That is exactly what we're talking about. Ginsburg with the hat trick, with a bounce shot top shelf, and your Cubs up 7-1. Now with the 6-goal lead, and we'll be back at the face-off dot. Probably with Andrew Goldman or Enzo Choi to take the face-off. Ball up in the air. Now with the ball, Milo Watts. Over to Alex Michaels. Over to Cash Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to Tripp. Tripp over to Carmine. Carmine over to Milo. Milo back over to Carmine. Carmine over to Fine. Fine over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to Fine. Back over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg to Watts. Watts now switches over to lefty. Gives it to Michaels. Michaels now with the ball. Over to Milo Watts. Watts over to Carmine. Carmine now with the ball on the right side, trying to drift over to the top. Carmine holding on to the possession. Loyola hasn't given up the ball since. Yep. Finn Hazelton with the ball now at around the 40. Now with the ball, Joey McNamara. McNamara over to Codaway. Codaway over to Finn. Tripp King now has the ball behind the net. Over to Cash Ginsburg. Ginsburg now looking for the middle. Gives it over to Joey McNamara, and a save made by the Golden Knights goalie. St. Francis now looking for some momentum. They're down 6. He Hail Marys a pass to their long pole. The St. Francis Golden Knights looking for something. They Hail Married again. Pass dropped. Ball over to Everett. Everett over to Codaway. Codaway now bringing it up the left side. Codaway now setting it up. Over to Fine. Fine now jogging it down low. Fine now looking for something. Spin move. Puts his defender on skates. Gives it over to Codaway. Bad pass. Codaway's going to have to chase it down. And he does. Hard hit by the long pole for St. Francis. Codaway with the spin move. Codaway now bringing it down. Codaway over to Joey. Joey in front to Fine. Scores! Fine goes top shelf, and your Cubs are up 7 with 7 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Cubs up 8-1. Your Cubs up 7. Now with the ball, Carmine in the offensive zone. Cubs being relentless right now here in the third quarter, not letting the Golden Knights breathe. As the St. Francis parents chant slowly simmering down a little bit, the Cubs are picking up some momentum themselves. Ginsburg now pressuring. Oh, that's going to be a penalty on Loyola, and that's going to be their first one. St. Francis bringing up the ball now. They're coming up with speed. Henry goes all out for the block. Great save by Garrett Flynn. And that's the penalty on Loyola, and St. Francis will have a power play when we come back. St. Francis now on their first power play of the game. Looking to see if they can add a second one there on the board. They scored their first one early, their first one of the game. It was a nice little pass, a nice little rush, and they converted on it. St. Francis hasn't been able to do it since. St. Francis in front, shoot, and a save made by Garrett Flynn as ball pops out. St. Francis now with the ball. Up top. To the right corner, back down to the bottom right corner. St. Francis picks it back up, ball dropped, back picked up again. St. Francis now with the ball, still making way, possessing it around the outside, and a bad pass, and it's gonna be Loyola ball. On the ball pickup is number 27, Gus Singh, as he's gonna try to play it in cleanly. Gus Singh with a couple of stutter step moves. Gives it over to number 40 for your Loyola Cubs. Long ball tries a shot. That goes out of bounds. And the pull was just too long for him to follow through on the shot. With 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the third quarter, St. Francis has the ball, and they're down 7. On the turnover, Jack McNamara. McNamara over to Finn Hazelton. Finn Hazelton cutting in, shoots, and a save made, and it's going to be run down by Trip King, sophomore for your Loyola Cubs. Trip King having a hard time getting the ball from the soccer netting. Trip King now. Looking, oh, big body. In front. Pass gets picked off. Trip King on defense. Can't do much. And now St. Francis picking it up with speed. St. Francis gunning it in with Finn Hazelton on him. And St. Francis will just pull back and set it up again. Number 99 for the Golden Knights setting it up. St. Francis shoots, scores. St. Francis gets their second on the board with a nice little spin move in front as he bodies off Gus. And the score is cut down to 6. St. Francis makes it 8-2. Cubs up. We'll be back at the faceoff dot. Andrew Goldman wins the draw. Carmine with a big body check. And is bringing up the ball for the Cubs.
That's in the back.
I sadly missed our Loyola ice hockey game today for this broadcast, but our Loyola hockey team is winning 2-1 right now. Go Cubs! Woo! St. Francis now bringing it down. Lost the ball. And Gus Singh will pick it up, the long pull. Gives it over Henry Kasani. Kasani bringing it down with speed. And a pass gone wide. And it's going to be St. Francis Golden Knights ball off of a miscued pass by Henry Kasani.
Homer.
St. Francis now with a little possession. And will get the ball back after the shot was stopped by Garrett Flynn. Now with the ball, Cooper Malone gives it over to Chase Helly. Helly over to Cash Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to Finn Hazelton. Hazelton over to Cash Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to Fine. Fine over to King. King over to Finn. Finn over to Joey. Joey over to Matt. Matt in front. In front to Finn. Oh, Finn lost it in the cradle. Ball's loose. St. Francis picks it up. St. Francis coming down with speed. Flag on the play. We'll be back after the penalty. Penalty on your Cubs. And now bringing up the ball, Chase Helly trying to just cross midway, and he does. Chase now with the ball. They're down a man, but still have the ball as he dumps it over to Cooper Malone. Cooper Malone making a move, spin move into the middle. Cooper over to Ginsberg. Ginsberg downloaded, Tripp scores! Short-handed goal by Tripp King, and your Cubs up 7. Score is 9-2. Oh, a nice little play there by Andrew Goldman as he gives a backdoor play to Tripp. Tripp just misses the shot. Milo Watts now with 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Gives it over to King. King now to Carmine. Carmine with a move. Ooh, shot by Matt Fine, wide off the bounce. Milo, fake shot. High bouncer. And a save by the Golden Knights goalie with only a couple seconds left to go. And that's the end of the third quarter. Your Cubs up 7, score 9-2. We'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter. It is time for the fourth quarter. Andrew Goldman wins the opening faceoff as the ball goes out of bounds and onto Venice Boulevard. St. Francis with the ball now. Long pull for St. Francis. Oh, pass off the helmet of King. Oh, almost a little like knee on knee there hit. Timeout. St. Francis. They just had a fourth quarter break. Why do they need a timeout? St. Francis now with the ball, bringing it upfield, looking to see if they can add another one to the board. They only have two. Let's see if they can add a third. Cubs up 9-2 with 11 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. St. Francis now bringing up the ball. St. Francis battling in the bottom left corner. Loyola ball off of a bad pass by the Golden Knights. And now Gus Singh over to Garrett Flynn. Garrett Flynn over to Everett Ralph. Ralph over to Cooper Malone. Malone breaking free. He gets hit a couple times and still stays on his feet. Matthew Fine over to Cash Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to the right. Spin move. Looking for something else. Gives it over to Finn Hazelton. Hazelton now with the ball on the right side. Cruising down. Down to Trip King. King with the ball. King looking and found Cash Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to Hazelton. Hazelton with the spin move. Breaking it down. Gives it over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to King. King over to Joey McNamara. McNamara over to Codaway. Codaway over to Hazelton. Hazelton pulls back, doesn't shoot. Ginsburg fakes. He's all alone. He misses. Joey McNamara bodies him out, and it's going to be Cub ball.
I know. This is it. This is the last quarter. The fourth quarter. Okay, chill. What?
He said, don't let him breathe. What the hell?
What does that mean? Oh, they smother him. You had to smother him. Don't let
Okay.
him breathe.
Okay.
Is that an East Coast saying?
Maybe. I don't know. But what I do know is Joey McNamara has the ball and gives it over to Codaway. Codaway shoots and shot wide. But Loyola will get it back on the rundown.
That was a laser shot.
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah, jeez.
Ginsburg, a couple great moves. He's just getting hacked Non-stop. Hack, 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 hack.
Have padding, man. Chill. Oh, they got the ball. They got the ball.
St. Francis now bringing it upfield with a nice little over-the-head pass. Finn Hazelton on the rundown. St. Francis shot off the post. Everett Ralph battling. 1v2, but he can bully both of them. Everett Ralph is a dog. Finn Hazelton now bringing it up on the left side. Cooper Malone, you're about to talk. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
I'm not talking.
And you're talking.
I am talking.
He is talking.
Yep.
Milo Watts over to Carmine. Carmine over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg over to Fine. Fine now looking for the line. Trying to find it in his prime.
What?
Alex Michaels over to Carmine. To Milo Watts. Milo Watts with a shovel shot. And you betcha he capitalizes. Cubs score their 10th goal of the game and reclaim their 8-goal lead with 8 minutes left to go in the game. Or should I say, in the Mission League Finals.
You got a ride home?
Yeah, my mom's here.
Oh, your mom's here? Well, she can come hang out with us.
She says she doesn't have shoes on.
I don't see. Sorry, man. We got another 7 minutes. 7.
Enzo Choi wins the draw. Over to Matt Fine. Matt Fine. Oh, a nice little trick play to catch Ginsburg. And St. Francis almost scores in their own net with 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. The Golden Knights goalie passes it out and dumps it into the middle. Golden Knights now making some good progress getting into the Cubs zone. Number 99 for the Cubs now with the ball. Sets it up. Over to number 18 for the Golden Knights. The Knights making process. Everett Ralph on the defend. Now Henry Cassani. St. Francis now in front.
Ooh.
Pass lost, and it's Cub ball. And Cooper breaks free.
Oh. 6 minutes left.
St. Francis setting up the ball in their zone as time is winding down slowly. Game clock now at 5:20. I want to thank you To the 350 people who have watched this broadcast so far, it has been an honor to talk for you. I love to talk,
Yes, you do.
and I'm a good talker.
Yes.
And I hope you guys are glad with the talking that I've done today. So now I'll stop talking to you. And now I'm talking again about the game. I just love talking.
It's a flag, is that?
I'm a talker. Another flag by St. Francis. My fight with the ball. Over to King. King. Over to Hazelton. Hazelton over to McNamara. McNamara. Over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg. Over to King. King shoots. Save made. Four minutes and 24 seconds left to go in this game, and the Cubs have the ball on a power play. Codaway now with the ball, gives it over to Finn Hazelton. Hazelton over to King. King now with the ball to Ginsburg. Ginsburg now with the ball. Over to Tripp. Tripp over to Codaway. Codaway over to Michaels. Michaels over to Ginsburg, who just loses the ball and regains it. Michaels over to Codaway. Codaway with a shot at Ginsburg, and it goes off the bar.
What does that mean?
That's probably the goalie, Carla.
Carla?
Carla. Codaway. Over to Ginsburg. Ginsburg with a shot, and Tripp King. He scores. Cubs up 11-2 in Mission League Finals with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the game. We'll be back at the face-off dot.
Timeout?
Timeout. Back after the timeout, 3 minutes left to go in the game. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the game.
Can't feel my fingers.
Yeah, I can't feel them either. It's freezing out here.
Jesus. Stop. Long pole has it. Kasani has it.
Kasani with the ball. Over to Cooper Malone. Coop over to Michaels. Damn, there's dogs yelling like crazy.
It's the loud cars, dude.
A minute 35 left to go in this game. Alex Michaels. Over to Milo Watts with absolute ease. Shovel shot, top bins. And your Cubs are up 12-2 and now have a 10-goal lead with a minute 30 left to go in this game. Charlie Capps now trying to get him down. And St. Francis bulleting up, crossing the midline with speed. Big hit.
Jesus. Is that legal?
Yeah, it is. Woo. Got hit hard. A minute left to go until the Cubs are crowned the champions of Mission League. Everett Ralph. Shot missed by St. Francis.
Let's go! Come on, Cubs! Let's go! Cubs!
It is just a jumble of players in front of the net now with 25 seconds left to go.
Don't you feel like they're slipping like banana peel on banana peel?
Okay. Oh, St. Francis!
Oh, St. Francis!
With a bounce shot and pull the lead to 9. Score 12-3 as Garrett Flynn just misses the hop.
Oh my God, about time.
16 seconds left to go in this game. Thank you.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Enzo misses the shot as the clock is running down with 8 seconds left to go. Charlie Capps. And that's the game. Your Loyola Cubs are Mission League champs. Back to back. Your Cubs are the royalty of Mission League. Cubs win by 9. Go Cubs, go.
All right.
We have a baseball game tomorrow against Cathedral, and I will be broadcasting it, and we'll see you there. Good night.